So the issue has been that processors barely mix their product. It's the retailers, like our market women, who, because they want to double their profits, makes it to get more volumes, and also some of them are saying it makes it red, which I think is not a good argument. So when you buy your palm oil, put water in a jar, and then add your oil, mix it, and leave it for about 5 minutes. If it settles on top, it means it's not mixed with anything, any foreign material. But if it doesn't settle on top and it's mixed completely with the water, it means don't use the oil because it's already adulterated.
There is a tree crop that is native to tropical regions like West Africa and Southeast Asia and is widely cultivated for its fruit, producing an edible oil used in foods, cosmetics, and biofuels. This tree crop can live for 25 to 30 years, producing multiple fruit bunches every year. It grows into tall single-stem plants with a crown of leaves, supporting livelihoods and economies. The oil palm tree is this tree crop. It produces palm fruits that can be processed into palm oil for cooking, used as an ingredient in many ready-to-eat foods like margarine, ice cream, cereals, baked goods, and nut butter. The palm fruit can also be used as a stabilizer to maintain the texture, consistency, and shelf life of products. For personal care and health, palm oil is incorporated into products for its moisturizing, texturizing, and antimicrobial properties. Palm oil is a substitute for animal fats and vegetable oils in industrial applications. A derivative of palm oil is used as a foaming agent in soaps and other personal grooming products. In African communities, the palm oil is a staple ingredient in traditional soups and stews. It can also be used for medicinal purposes. Textiles, household materials, and even wine can be derived from oil palm. In pre-colonial era in Ghana, oil palm became a major commercial crop and a principal export commodity by the beginning of the 19th century. After a high point during the colonial era, oil palm experienced a swift decline around 1884. And this was attributed to falling world prices, the felling of oil palm trees for palm wine, and Ghana's sudden focus on cocoa as a promising foreign exchange earner. From the beginning of the post-independence era, the Ghanaian government started investing in the oil palm industry by transforming small-scale village farms into commercial farms and establishing medium-sized palm oil mills in high-producing areas whilst introducing sustainable practices. Today, over 2 million livelihoods of Ghanaians is connected to oil palm, with more than 6 million dependent on the industry. Philomena Asante is a part of these 2 million Ghanaians who buy fresh palm fruits and process it into palm oil and palm kernel oil.
My name is Philomena Asante. I hail from Ashantiregion, and then I have completed first degree at University of Ghana in economics. I worked a bit in finance, then I did an MBA in entrepreneurship and global sustainability. Started at a consulting company, then graduated to agribusiness company. I've been in agribusiness for about 7 years now. That is palm oil processing. The reason why I entered into palm oil is that it has been in the family. Back when I was growing up in Amansia Central in Ashantiregion, my father owned a plantation and my mom also processed. So it has been on my heart as to do agribusiness, and then I chose to go into palm processing because I saw that there was a market for it and there were challenges I see in the news about adulteration in palm oil. So I decided to go into producing quality, unadulterated palm oil for the growing market, because I saw that that problem is there, people are facing that issue, and yet about 50% of our recipes in Ghana, in Africa, use palm oil. So it was a good business venture, and it's also an opportunity for me to supply the growing demand and also contribute to the community where they grow oil palm and then produce palm oil. So before palm oil, I was doing grains for poultry, supplying grains to feed mills. But that business, it was swallowed by COVID. But palm oil was able to stand the test of time.
And this can be attributed to its incredible versatility, sustainability, and adaptability. Palm absorbs significant amounts of carbon dioxide, making it a valuable tool in climate change mitigations. Apart from the oil, other products can be derived from the palm tree.
So other products that we get is the palm fiber, which is also biofuel and can also be used as a fertilizer. The palm leaves is very common when it comes to cleaning our homes as brooms for baskets and some other arts. So palm is very profitable. Every part of the tree is useful.
Palm oil is the most widely used vegetable oil in the world, with its demand defying global conflicts and pandemics. Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, and Australia are continents that use palm oil in foods, cosmetics, biofuels, and pharmaceuticals. Agromedia. Kindly subscribe to the channel to get updates on our contents on agriculture and agribusiness.
So it started when my father died and visiting one of our farms, the palm plantation and the cocoa farm. The palm plantation was invaded by illegal miners and other people. So I decided that I will let them harvest the fruits for me so that I process. But we have only overgrown trees, so I had a problem with constant supply. Then I decided to go into buying fruits and then already processed oil from processors. So I worked with processors in Eastern Region, Kede, Chia, and also processors in Nkariwe, Ashantiregion. So they supply the palm oil, and packaging was done in Adenta, Accra.
Palm oil requires 4 to 10 times less land than other vegetable oil crops to get the same amount of oil. This efficient use of land makes palm oil attractive to producers and buyers around the world. With this unique quality and high demand, palm oil can have negative impacts on the environment, wildlife, and humans if produced irresponsibly. The clarion call for all stakeholders along the palm oil value chain to develop sustainable practices is crucial in safeguarding the global food security, and Philomena is a passionate advocate for sustainable palm oil initiative. When you buy sustainable palm oil, you are buying palm oil that has been farmed, processed, distributed, and sold responsibly with strict rules that protects animals, the environment, and people who live and work in oil palm producing countries.
We partnered with the Ministry of Agric, MOFA office, district office, and they have been very helpful, connecting us to farmers, communities, and listening to farmers, their issues, and how we can help make this sustainable. So the agric officers will train them on good farm management and how to get good yields, and then we are providing a sure market for their fruits and help with the community growth as well.
My name is Isaac Owusu. from Dwaso Municipal Assembly, Department of Agric. I work as an extension agent from Komisu to Nchisa. We provide the farmers with oil palm seedlings, and we also help them in farm management, like pruning and how they control their farm weeds so that they can have bumper fruit in their farms. That's what we do especially for the oil palm farmers.
With over 1,000 palm oil farmers in the district, the Ministry of Food and Agric is dedicated to providing improved oil palm seedlings to ensure profitability.
Okay, with the seedlings, we supply them with Tenera and Malaysia type. That's what we give to them. So at least by 4 years' time, it will start fruiting.
Globally, people want to buy brands that supports community, that supports sustainability, that is mindful of the climate change and adaptation of their process. And it is so that we can also help with the livelihood cycle. Once we are selling more, we are buying more from our farmers, and our farmers also make a good earning. And we also employ more hands in the community.
A bottle of sustainable palm oil has halted deforestation, treated communities and workers fairly, and protected wildlife and the environment. That being said, how is a bottle of palm oil produced?
So for us processors, we come to our farmers like Mr. Aka. This is Mr. Aka's farm. So when we come, we locate ripe fruits, and then the harvesters go around and harvest them. So this is a fresh fruit bunch, and these ones are called loose because we pick everything, we don't leave them out. And from here, we load to a truck and send it to the factory to start the processing.
The Dwaso Women Oil Palm Processing Center is the factory where the palm bunches are sent for processing. Agromedia, kindly subscribe to the channel to get updates on our contents on agriculture and agribusiness. Dwaso is the capital of the Ashantiregion South Municipal District in the Ashantiregion of Ghana. It is predominantly an agricultural district and gradually becoming a palm oil processing hub with women at the forefront of the growing economic activity. The Dwaso Women Oil Palm Processing Center was built to ensure the community processes oil palm in a sustainable way.
This project was initiated by Nana Asafuaka Ejeitabi, the chief of Dwaso. Nana had an idea of supporting the women in this community because Dwaso, when I came over, I saw was a palmoil plantation area stretching from here down to Konongo side, where the assembly is. All those areas, there were a lot of palm oil trees planted over there. And then from Dwaso heading towards Achibie, heading towards Nkoko, there was also the seedling factory where they used to grow seeds and then seedlings and then sell them out or give them out to farmers to plant. When the chief saw that there was a need for the women to come together so that they can get a job to do, he initiated it and then started working on how best he can establish a factory. When he saw that MTN can be of some help, he spoke to them. Quickly they agreed, and then they supported Nana in all these areas until it was done.
The Dwaso Women Oil Palm Processing Center is currently being managed by Minana Services, led by Philomena Asante, a leading processor of oil palm in the district and an exporter of palm oil.
The reason why we came to this place is because the boiler system is such that the smoke is directed up to the skies. It prevents smoke from polluting the environment and our neighbors. And then it uses less energy to power our boiler because of the brick base. It's like an oven. Once it's heated, you don't need any more firewood. It will do its jobs.
The Draso Women Oil Palm Processing Center was built under sustainable environmental guidelines, considering noise and air pollution to settlements close to the center, in addition to providing a storage space to store wastewater for biofuel.
Because we want to be sustainable and make sure that the environment too is safe and we are not contributing to pollution of the environment, the liquid that comes out of the production that we are supposed to discard, that liquid waste is also a resource for biogas system.
When the palm bunches are received at the Draso Women Oil Palm Processing Center, the fruitlets are manually removed from the stalk and the spikelets. The fruitlets are then left overnight. The following day, the process of producing crude palm oil begins.
My day usually starts when we have to come for production. That's when we already have transported the palm fruit from the farm and we have already loosed it from the bunches. When we loose it from the bunches, because we don't have machines to separate the fruit from the bunches, we have to use this fan as appropriate technology to separate the unwanted materials from the fruits like this. From this point, we fill our tank with the fruits.
Once we have filled the boiler with the fruits, we connect a pipe that will send water into the boiler, serving as fuel for the boiler. The spikelets and the ratchets of the bunches are used to set fire to the boiler. Once enough water has been transferred into the boiler is covered and fire is set to the spikelets and the ratchets to heat up the boiler. For the next 3 to 4 hours, the palm fruit is allowed to boil. This process is to inactivate enzymes and soften the fruits. Once the production manager is able to determine if the boiled fruits are ready for crushing, the fruits are conveyed to the crushing machine.
Okay, so the palm fruit is ready. We are about to collect it from the boiler to the crusher and the speller machine. We are removing it from the boiler. So now the crusher machine has been filled with the palm fruit and it is ready. Started milling and crushing the palm fruit as it's going. So now as you can see, the palm fruit is being crushed.
Because it's an electric motor, it's more effective when it comes to noise, pollution, and it's easier for laborers to work because it crushes and also expels the oil at the same time. These things are very important because we are looking at the health and safety of the workers, we are looking at the environment, and we are looking also at the neighbors.
The palm fruit oil will be then carried to the clarifying tank and it will be mixed with water. Then we will boil it for about 2 hours. Then leave it to cool. Then the palm oil fruit will be settled on the top. After it's cool for 2 hours, we collect the cream from the water.
The clarifying tank heats the palm crude oil to reduce viscosity, separate impurities, and recover oil from waste sludge.
The next morning, we will scoop it into the storage tank.
This this is where we pour it, and this is the outlet. So this tank has 1 ton capacity. So we fill it to the brim, and if we are packaging, this is the outlet. When we open, the oil comes, we fetch the quantity we need, and then we close it. So this is the final stage of the production process.
Media, kindly subscribe to the channel to get updates on our contents on agriculture and agribusiness. Crude palm oil may undergo refining to improve color, odor, and stability. This process begins with removing impurities through deguming, removing free fatty acids through neutralization, removing color through bleaching, removing volatile compounds through steam stripping, and finally, treating the oil through filtering to achieve quality standards.
After producing and getting the oil, we get the kernels, and the kernels are used for palm kernel oil. The kernel oil is used for cosmetics, for food, sometimes in pharmaceutical products. In the production of the kernel oil, we get palm kernel cake, and the cake is mainly used by livestock farmers like poultry and then piggery, and even those who are into rabbits. It is in very high demand.
Whilst the global demand for palm oil is geared towards its industrial use, Ghana's demand is overwhelmingly driven by food consumption, with an annual demand in the 2024-2025 year period at 450,000 metric tons. Domestic production covered 300,000 metric tons, and imports filled the supply deficit with 150,000 metric tons.
For palm oil locally, in terms of demand, we have the capacity to meet demand for households. Industry demands, so we need to invest more into the production that is supporting farmers to grow and produce more yields. And that one, the quality issue comes in, even locally. For companies like Unilever, the quality comes in. You have to produce to a certain quality. No matter the quantity you have, if the quality doesn't meet their criteria, they can't buy from you. And there are more companies like that, like Roma, Africa, Promacidor, and other. They use fats and oils in their production. Even some of the industries here, they have to import to support. The local industry is not able to supply. Some of the edible crude palm oil come from Togo, but it's very small. But the major importation is refined palm oil. Common brand is like Phytol. It's sometimes imported to augment factories.
Within the domestic consumption space is a red oil market, which refers to unrefined palm oil. It is mostly supplied largely by small-scale artisanal millers. There is also the refined oil market, which refers to clear vegetable oil, which competes with soybean oil. This is mostly produced by large industrial estates and imports. The red unrefined palm oil is known to be rich in carotenes and is a standard for traditional soups and stews in Ghana and other African countries.
Because we are in the edible oil business, our customers keep asking for other oils. So we do coconut oil, soybean oil, and then groundnut oil. So we are connected with a lot of farmers and a lot of processors in the northern and then central region. So our coconut oil comes from the central region, our soya is from Ashantiregion, and then our groundnut oil comes from Tamale.
Local soap production relies heavily on high free fatty acid palm oil, which is often considered low quality for food. Palm kernel oil also is almost an exclusive industrial ingredient used for high lather soaps and personal care products.
There's local demand for industries. People say, oh, yeah, nobody is buying. the demand is there, but the quality is the issue. Because of this initiative, we are in connection with a professor in UCC who has developed a mobile scan, like a mobile laboratory, where after every production you test and you see together free fatty acid, you see the Sudan IV, you see the moisture content, and it meets the industry demand or the industry criteria. So once you do the testing and you know that your production processes is not giving you the quality, you adjust. So like this production, we are going to use it for soap. We can't use it as an edible oil because some of the fruits are rotten. But when you want to get a high quality, fresh fruits, and then after every batch of production, you have to test and know the specification of the oil you've produced so that you can forward the specification to the buyer and the buyer can buy.
Despite palm oil's readily available market, you would find some unscrupulous persons introduce a synthetic axo dye called Sudan Ivy into palm oil to give the oil a lot more red color. This, in their wild imagination, is to make the oil much brighter and more appealing so as to increase its market value and give a false impression of red-looking oil equating high-quality oil.
Because they want to double or triple their profits, some of them mix artificial liquids to the palm oil, like Sudan Ivy. And it's very difficult to distinguish yourself, except those of us who send our products to the laboratory for it to be assessed and then certified by authorities like FDA.
In 2022, the Food and Drugs Authority of Ghana found about 30% of palm oil on the Ghanaian market contaminated with Sudan Ivy.
So the issue has been that processors barely mix their product. It's the retailers, like our market women, who, because they want to double their profits, makes it to get more volumes, and also some of them are saying it makes it red, which I think is not a good argument.
Sudan Ivy is an industrial synthetic axo dye. Animal studies shows the formation of tumors, especially in the liver and urinary bladder, due to the presence of these dyes. The ability to damage DNA is linked to the carcinogenic potential of these dyes. Additionally, exposure to Sudan Ivy has been linked to kidney stress and potential hepatorenal dysfunction.
The easiest way that we've been taught since the general home remedy is oil itself is lighter than water. So when you mix water and oil will suspend on top of the water. So when you buy your palm oil, put water in a jar and then add your oil, mix it and leave it for about 5 minutes. If it settles on top, it means it's not mixed with any foreign material. But if it doesn't settle on top and it's mixed completely with the water, it means don't use the oil because it's already adulterated.
The adulteration of palm oil with Sudan Ivy is not a challenge peculiar to Ghana, just as other challenges that impede the growth and realization of oil palm's full potential globally.
The other part of the global challenge is deforestation and bad press. We are hoping to combat with good farming processes and then protecting our indigenous plants and trees. And what we've been taught through trainings with various extension officers is to incorporate alley cropping, where you grow your palm oil with the trees. You leave some of the trees, you don't cut every tree just because you want to cultivate.
The goal of alley cropping is to maximize land use efficiency, improve soil health, reduce deforestation, whilst providing immediate economic benefits, particularly for smallholder farmers. Agro Media, kindly subscribe to the channel to get updates on our contents on agriculture and agribusiness. Packaging is a critical component of marketing logistics and customer experience strategy.
I've had issues with packaging. Now we want to package in bamboo bottles. Unlike other parts in Asia, where you have machines available, in Ghana it's quite difficult. You have to import from China, wait for 60 days or 90 days, and sometimes when the machine gets here, it's different from what you ordered. And even if it's the same machine, when it breaks down, servicing the machine becomes serious.
It is for this reason that the Ghana Regional Appropriate Technology Industrial Service (GRATIS) was established in 1987 by the government of Ghana and formally incorporated as an agency called the GRATIS Foundation under the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry in 1999, with this role centering on three main pillars: technology, training, and manufacturing.
We need a machine that will help us do this. That one, we are in talk with GRATIS Foundation, so they have an office in Kolongo that we are talking to help us assemble a machine to take the fruit from the branches so that we reduce the labor time here.
One of GRATIS Foundation's main role in the area of agriculture and agro-processing is to research, design, develop and manufacture appropriate technology-based equipments, tools, and spare parts locally, reducing the reliance on expensive imported machinery by Ghanaian businesses. So, businesses like Minana Services can engage the foundation to design a machine that would enhance their operational efficiency.
We've partnered about 500 farmers in ashantiregion, and we are going further. And it is also in our vision to own our own plantation and make sure that we expand our factory by introducing more innovative ways of producing packaging and also investing in our marketing and customer service. Yeah. So it's promising.
Even more promising, after Minana Services was awarded along with 5 other West African startups a grant through the Transform Initiative, which is a joint initiative between Unilever, UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, and Ernst & Young.
So Unilever is already in the palm oil value chain. All their products, cosmetics, they use palm oil. And since we are also in the value chain, we are looking at not just producing for profits, also supporting communities, supporting farmers with good farm management system, and supporting our workers in terms of their well-being and their health and safety, and then the environment and community.
The Transform Initiative's goal is to support visionary impact enterprises that are solving global challenges related to the environment, health, and inclusive economies by providing a combination of grant funding and bespoke business support and mentorship. With this grant, Minana Services is expected to train over 20,000 farmers in climate-smart practices and unlock new income streams for women and rural communities. Agromedia believes that the oil palm industry will require a lot more educated youth benefiting from this initiative, which would have direct impact on the oil palm industry and goodwill to the developing partners. This is why
this place, Galamsey, is here. So because of the Galamsey, the youth, they are not much into the farming. So the old men who are into the farming. If you take in percentage, you get maybe 40% of the youth into the farming. It's worried because a time is coming when the old people, they are not there. It will be very difficult for us to get food.
We need the youth to go into agriculture, the educated ones to go, because what I've seen is that we go to our farming communities. They've been doing this for 20 years, so your new methods is difficult for them to adopt, but they don't know that the yield also counts.
Once upon a time, before 1884, oil palm was a major export earner until cocoa took over. In 1947, 36 years after cocoa took over as a major export earner, Cocoa Board was established to control, regulate, and manage Ghana's cocoa industry. In a very sharp contrast, just 6 years ago, and on the 28th of December 2019, the Tree Crops Development Authority Act came into full force, establishing the authority. This leaves a gap of 135 years where crops like oil palm had no control, regulations, or dedicated management. Despite how disappointing this sounds to the many jobless Ghanaian youth and struggling actors in the tree crop sector, we hope the Tree Crop Development Authority are able to make up for the lost years and position tree crops like oil palm on the global trading stage to compete with the likes of Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Colombia, and Nigeria, because the rest of the world will not wait for us.
The way they are supporting cocoa, they should support other crops also, because we depend on it as food, we depend on it for cosmetics. For palm, we want it to be supported with a very good pricing, provision of farm equipment, pesticides and weedicides, the way they do for other like cocoa, and also regulate the prices so that the farmers will make most out of it. And also introduce health insurance and pension plan, because I know that cocoa farmers have some pension plan, but I don't know for oil palm.
With a vast area of land and the use of farming methods that encourages afforestation, Ghana should have no business importing either refined or unrefined palm oil. We have what it takes to be overly self-sufficient and produce to meet the needs of the global market. We can only achieve this by calling on the government and funding agencies to be able to support oil palm plantations with the best agronomic practices and oil palm processing centers with smart technologies that improves the quality of their palm oil without compromising on environmental sustainability. The next time you enjoy a meal made with palm oil, remember to appreciate the seed producer, the farmer, the processor, retailer, the government, funding agencies, and yourself, because without the consumer completing the value chain, there would be no industry. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe to the channel to get updates on our contents on agriculture and agribusiness. Agro Media, spotlight on the agriculture.